Today, we check into our hotel and we are looking through the practical lens as we dive into the very first practical guide ever published. Playing for Success, Project Management using LEGO Serious Play. And we're not alone. For the first time, we open the episode room of our hotel to a guest. Please welcome Simon Dutton, project manager with more than 30 years of experience and the author of this pioneering guide. Together, we explore how project management and LEGO Serious Play blend into powerful workshop designs, why risk workshops become truly meaningful when built in bricks, and how practical roadmaps can help teams understand their projects from day one. Let's step inside and take a closer look. Welcome to the Bricks Boutique Hotel. Hello, Michel.
Hello there. And
we
have a guest. We have a guest.
We have a guest. The first time that we are not alone.
Nope.
Behind the scenes in our Bricks Boutique Hotel. And welcome, Simon, the very first author of the very first practical guide that has ever been published by the LSP magazine.
Correct.
Now, Michel, how did it come that you came up with the idea to produce a practical guide?
That is a very good question. Thank you for that. Lovely that we didn't prepare it. Come on, Simon. I have to tap also into your memory.
I think I'd started writing something.
Okay.
My background's project management. And then almost 10 years ago, I did my LSP training. And the two just seemed a good fit. So I started putting something together. And then we had a conversation. And hey presto, we had a practical guide. Simple as that.
Yes, sometimes it is as simple as that. But you were already involved in the magazine then?
Yes, I think both myself and Matthias were in the very first issue when we talked about LSP Online.
We did.
And I remember you interviewing us and then putting the article together. So yeah, I've had an involvement in the magazine from day one.
Absolutely. Oh yes. And then it has to be that indeed something is written, and maybe we came up with the idea: is this an article, or is this more than just an article? And let's write a little booklet out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that became preparation is everything. I've just looked at my stack of practical guides for my reminder.
Yeah. Yeah, what I do remember then, because just as a last remark, Matthias, because you probably have more questions, is that the specific thing about the practical guide was, of course, not so much another book about project management, but literally how it combines with LEGO Serious Play, and the question back then to you, if you were willing to share your workshop designs of how you execute project management and the different stages on project management with the LEGO Serious Play method, because that makes those kind of books special, is that the designs of an expert are in it.
Yeah. So I think on top of my head, there's half a dozen different touch points between LSP and project management. So from the project kickoff, which was part of my training back in Copenhagen 10 years ago, and right through to the end of a project and doing a post-implementation review. Then in between, there are various points like doing risk management, working out communication plans, that managing issues that really LSP can help with and get people talking and understanding what's happening and come up with ideas to fix things. So I called the risk workshop a pre-mortem, and it's something I stole the concept from Matthew Syed, the author and journalist. And normally when you run a risk workshop, people stick post-it notes on a wall, and they come up with common things like the project manager gets run over by a bus or leaves, which could be both, of course. But doing it with LSP, you go into the detail. You get really worked out, thought through risks that you can very quickly move on to some form of mitigation, and you get a more robust conversation. That's
there you
LSP.
So,
All right,
Simon, how long did you work in project management?
30 plus years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you did the Lego Serious Play training, or the training to become a facilitator in the Lego Serious Play method, did you already realize upfront that you could use Lego Serious Play in this field, project management, or is this something that you realized during the training?
I think it was during the training. Prior to the training, I'd written a one-day course for project managers to understand how to plan a project, because it's something that a number of project managers I've worked with weren't particularly good at, to do it properly. So there was a one-day course, and at the end of the course, it went through a case study of how to build a house. And we used Lego bricks to actually build a house. So not serious play, but using Lego. So I've always had an interest in Lego. But during the training course to become an LSP facilitator, I quickly twigged that using LSP within project management to get people talking properly would be a good thing. And if you remember back to your trainings, that late Thursday night, the day 3, where you put together your own piece of facilitation, that's what I did.
Okay. Oh, so there the first seeds were planted already.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
So
I didn't know that.
You said that you have more than 30 years of experience in this field, and we know that there are so many books and articles and different concepts and stuff like that. So why do you think that Lego Serious Play, or using Lego Serious Play workshops, makes it so much better or so different than compared to, let's say, rather traditional approaches? Right?
Yeah,
you have
I
Prince
think I've already
2,
mentioned...
there is PMP and all these things. And they really thought it through, right? And they're using it since years. So that's why I'm asking, what makes a big difference here?
People. You can give people a process to follow, and they'll find a different way around it. So I'm Prince 2 qualified. In the UK, we have here the APM, Association for Project Management, which is another qualification. And they are both really useful. APM I find particularly because it's more pragmatic than Prince. But people circumvent stuff, and they're always too busy to invest lots of time. And LSP for a risk workshop doesn't need a lot of time, but it does get people thinking more deeply. And I go back to the workshop we created on the training course, and that was Project Kickoff. And it helps people understand what this project's about. We get people to build their understanding of what the project is, and you find the differences and you can correct it, because very often projects go wrong right at the beginning, not halfway through or at the end, but at the beginning. If they're not set up properly, then you could have problems, which isn't to say that they don't go wrong later on, but
No.
getting the basics right. Are we all understanding we're doing the same thing here from different angles? Then that's what LSP can do.
Yeah, and I was part of one of those workshops, and it is indeed fascinating, you know, the way you describe those different stages in a project, and indeed addresses to every stage its own workshop. Of course, you know, you can do the whole project and the different stages with Lego Serious Play, but you can also pick elements out. And I have found that fascinating, you know, being part of projects, of course, in all kinds of different settings. That the overview you gave was so structured, and at the same time, adding Lego Serious Play made it so, literally playful in a serious way. But that fascinating combination. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, we took it on the road, didn't we, Michelle?
We did.
On Bricks on Tour.
Yeah.
And we had fellow facilitators who are not project managers,
Nope.
but want to be able to facilitate in that world. So we created the workshop that gives an hour of understanding what project management is, what a project is, and who's involved in that. And then we can take them through the book and describe all those stages. It says, this is the kickoff. This is what happens with risk, how you deal with it. And I remember the workshop we did in Bergamo, and we put the risk out through the case study.
Yeah.
And it was the people who had a project background came up with the obvious answers.
Absolutely.
And the person who didn't have the project background solved the puzzle.
Oh, yes.
By saying, this is what we do. The problem was that the computer system wasn't working properly. And he said, you turn it off and then fix it. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we have to go back there.
I don't fully understand. I understand that. Can you elaborate a little bit about that? On that?
Yeah. So the case study that's in the Bricks on Tour workshop is about implementing a new computer system, and it's in an insurance company, which is part of my background. So I wrote it based on what I knew, and implementing this new system that calculates insurance premiums. And the idea is it wasn't calculating properly, and people were getting wrong premiums. They didn't know how much they should be paying, and some people were getting quoted much less than they should be, and some quoting much more. And of course, you always sell to the ones who think they've got a bargain.
Yeah.
And it was that's the issue that we put on the table. Build a model to describe it, and then build a model to fix it. And it was this person who had no understanding of project management who said, you know, you've got to turn it off, whereas other people were looking at workarounds, and turning it off was the ideal solution in my mind.
Interesting. So it's again bringing all the different perspectives on the table, right? So that everybody adds his piece of puzzle to the puzzle. Yeah,
and in the real world, if you've got half a dozen people in the meeting room trying to solve this problem, and they've all got different a view on it because they come from different parts of the project, you know, the technical whiz, the people that wrote the process, the people that own the customers, they've all got a different view of how to fix it, and you can get people together and describe it through the bricks and come to a really good conclusion.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was my experience. I did the workshop in the UK. Was it in Manchester that I was present? Doesn't matter.
No.
I wasn't. No, but I was in the UK. That's for sure. That's for sure. Okay.
Yeah, we're in Birmingham.
Right, and then we did this one also in Italy. It's like I said, we should plan something for next year. It's too long ago that we were on tour, and certainly with this one, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. Well, I think we've got you penciled in. We've got you penciled in for the UK community meeting in Manchester again.
Oh, so yes,
that'll be
that's for sure. That's
another
for sure.
opportunity.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay.
So
but anyway,
you're talking about the meeting in 2026, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Because we don't know when we'll publish this episode, so that's why I'm asking. Good. So let me get back to one question. Let me get back to one question that I had when you were mentioning the preparation of a project. As far as I remember from my time in being an IT consultant, there was a phase in the beginning where lots of paper was produced, right? Where it said this needs to be done, this needs to be done, this needs to be done, this needs to be done in the project. Now, when you are mentioning the preparation, would a Lego Serious Play workshop for the project kickoff help the people to really understand what they are supposed to do? That's what you said. But would this help as well to reduce the amount of paper which needs to be produced in the beginning? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I do. And I'm working with a client at the moment. We're not touching on serious play, but we are trying to improve their processes. And I think you can cut out a lot of the paperwork. So we've talked about project initiation documents. We talked about project briefs, initial outline on full business cases, and then you can get going. And that just seems overkill to me. I think you could bring that down to 1 or 2 documents.
Okay. And the model,
do it properly.
Of course.
Yeah. You could. We could do it with a model. When I describe projects, you start with a goal, and the goal is 1 or 2 sentences. That's it. So the goal is to create a podcast about Lego Serious Play. And then you have a series of objectives. So you need some tech, you need some people, you need some ideas. And then you have bits that go underneath that. So you just keep breaking it down, and then you end up where we are today. The task is to actually record today's podcast. That's your project.
Yeah.
And then, so you don't need 5 documents, even in a big project, I feel, to be able to deliver that.
Right. Interesting.
Cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
You have another question, Matthias? Or can I throw in one?
I'm listening to you, Michel.
Oh, well, that's
of course. I know
okay.
listening.
I'm
listening to you is rare, but
yeah. I was just wanted to mention that's for the first time, but I won't. So
that's why I did it.
A bit about writing, Simon. So can you share, and of course from your personal experience, about writing the practical guide, the really first one that kicked off a series? How was that writing process? How do you do that? I mean, is it a talent? Is it a struggle? What is it?
I don't think it was a struggle. In my day job previously, I've written manuals, processes for projects. So this is how we do change control. This is how we plan a project. These are the standards that we're going to use. And that felt quite natural to then turn it into a practical guide. Once I'd got my understanding of serious play, and then being able to match the two together and having a standard template for the workshop, and then we knew who we'd want in those workshops, what we wanted out of it, so the goal of the workshop, and it just fell together quite well. And I'm sure that anybody else who writes a practical guide is writing it from their own personal technical knowledge and experience. So it's not a difficult thing. So if there are people out there, I guess I'm going to say it, Michelle, and for you, if people want to have a go at writing one, then why not?
Absolutely. And from the LSP magazine, and that's just as a side note of a note at the side, what is the word, is that we're going to support them, and in that supporting process also Simon is involved. So just an invitation to everyone who's listening. All right.
So if you consider, I just want to show it once again. If you consider to have a look in that one, it's called Playing for Success, Project Management Using LEGO Serious Play. And honestly, it's really fabulous. And I don't say it because you are invited here. I remember when I experienced it the first time. Michelle and I were we had the first Bricks on Tour workshop, the summer edition, and we were looking at each other and it's like, this is amazing what is going on. So yeah, it's highly recommended.
It is. Yeah. All right. To wrap it up, in terms of writing or stuff like that, Simon, just throw in the question on my side. Any plans?
Any plans? I've got so many plans, Michelle.
Okay.
I've got to stop. I have to stop procrastinating. That's the first thing, and find time. At my age, I'm trying to retire and failing miserably.
Okay, that's good.
I've got a number of things I want to write. I'm certainly enjoying writing for the magazine and doing the pictorial guides, and some of them come easily and some of them don't. I worked out my format for the upcoming pictorial guide, and that's something about hobby hours. And I'm not going to say any more than that it's just about hobby hours, which is, I am going to say a bit more actually. It's a folk tale that I read 60 years ago, and then it goes back way beyond there. So that will feature in the next magazine for January. So Matthias, this needs to go out before January, if you don't mind. Thank you. And it's terrible. It's terrible when the guest tells you what you need to do, but it'll come out in the edit, so that's fine.
Yeah.
And if you want to throw things my way, Michelle, for review before they go to print, then carry on.
Actually, there is almost something coming your way. I didn't even mention it on the email yet, but that's one. Yeah. And I don't know if I now kind of put you in the corner or so, but we were talking already a long time ago about starting a business and what are the challenges on doing that. Is that still on the table?
It's still being worked through very slowly. There's that one. There's a couple of others we've talked about as well that are on my on my to-do list.
Good.
So this idea of trying to retire and failing is very much in my head.
So if you guys need someone to facilitate a project management workshop for your upcoming ideas, feel free. I could
Okay.
jump in.
Yeah.
Good.
That could be an idea, but to wrap it up, just make sure you keep on failing on retirement, because the magazine needs you, I need you, and there are so many things that need to come out. And if I'm allowed to say, then we can talk about it. Meaning retirement.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I really don't think I'm ready.
Okay. Yeah. Very good. Very good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Matthias, you wrap it up?
Well, I can. And I think the best wrapping up in that case would be, thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you so much for being here. It was a pleasure to have you.
Was.
And again, Playing for Success, the very first practical guide that ever has been published. And I think it's a fantastic one. You definitely have to have a look at it. Thank you so much. And sorry, but we need to leave you, Simon, now, because we have to rush
it's okay.
to the reception. There are already guests waiting for us.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go and check into my room and see if there's a jacuzzi. So
we prepared something additional for you, and it's a little surprise.
Yeah.
Good. Thanks a lot.
Goodbye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for checking in at the Brix Boutique Hotel today. If you enjoyed the podcast and want to hear more, subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to explore more of what the Brix Boutique Hotel has to offer, visit our website brixboutiquehotel.com. And remember, there is always a room for you at the Brix Boutique Hotel.